What's up, witches? This week I thought it would be fun to just do a more lighthearted, casual, fun, informal video where I do a Witchy Wednesday Amazon haul. Mostly because not only is this just the type of video that I personally like to watch on YouTube, but I thought it could be fun and useful to just show off some of the witchcraft slash Norse paganism related things that I have ordered off of the interwebs over the last couple months because I haven't left my house in about a year. So instead, I ordered a bunch of witchcraft related things off of Amazon. One thing that I have struggled with, especially since deciding to go down this whole path of paganism, is minimalist outlook versus our modern day consumer driven culture. So there's always those two opposing forces and desires just within myself, between like the crow brain that wants shiny objects and loves retail therapy, and the, Zen logic practical Amy that's trying to be like, no, we need to get away from that. Of course, that's what I've been going to, is either making things myself or purchasing them off of Etsy. If it's something specific and more like spiritually related, like artwork, crystals, just independent shop owners, craftspeople, artisans, what have you. That's obviously my preference in terms of sacred objects, ritual objects, and the like. But that being said, especially not being able to leave my house and, just go out shopping for just little things here and there, mostly arts and crafts items, I'm not gonna lie, I did turn to the internet. And it can be a good way to just get your hands on those types of materials if getting into witchcrafting is something that you're interested in, but you don't really have a lot of occult shops in your area. So what I want to do is just briefly show off for you some of the things that I have purchased and what I'm going to do with them. And I will try to go back through my order history and link the objects in the description down below in case any of you are interested. So let's get started. The first thing that I bought, and most of these things I've been accumulating since before Yule, but I went online and ordered this huge bag of just wooden craft discs. And they're just plain wooden discs. They come in several different sizes or diameters, so I went with this nice coaster size. And what I've been doing with those is, the other thing I purchased off of Amazon was just these acrylic paint pens. It's a set of paint markers, and I've been using those to paint wooden discs and also paint on river rocks. And those are things that I plan to give out as gifts or use as offerings. The other thing that I ordered off of Amazon was candle making supplies. Me being the artsy craftsy kind of gal that I am, I figured what better way to pursue those hobbies and be able to make my own ritual or offering objects by trying my hand at candle making. I don't have it here because it's just too big and unwieldy to unbox for you, but I got this huge bag of just plain soy wax nibs, and they're actually microwavable. So I did buy the little metal double boiler wax melter pot and pour pot that you'll see most people use in candle making, along with just a digital thermometer. But yeah, I did originally just buy microwavable soy wax pellets for making pour candles, because I don't really have a lot of or any experience making my own candles, and I don't really have materials or the know-how to make molded candles. But I do always like to hang on to the glass jars or glassware that other candles I've used up come in. I mean, I don't know, I'm a hoarder. I just can't bring myself to throw away perfectly good glassware. And then the other thing that I just found off of Amazon was this dried botanical flowers kit. It was pretty cheap. I want to say it was only like maybe 15-20 bucks, but inside it came with just an assortment of dried flowers, and it also has like some dried lemon slices in here as well. And everything is nicely labeled so that you know what is what. There's lavender, rose petals, all kinds of things in there. Because, don't get me wrong, one thing that I would love to do and to get started this spring is to start my own like witchy flower and herb garden. And so eventually I hope to be able to dry my own herbs and flowers to use in such undertakings. But being that I've only been trying to be a witch or a Norse pagan for maybe about 6 months now, I just don't have a lot of those materials on hand. And it's just something that I really wanted to try my hand at. So yeah, I bought just those dried flowers to incorporate into candles or spell jars or what have you. Well, I do think that, of course, anything that you grow yourself, make yourself, or just whatever the more of your own time and energy you invest into something, obviously the more charged and powerful those things are then going to be in your spell work or your witchcraft. But necessity is the mother of invention. Use what you have, you know. We don't all have the time, space, or ability to grow and dry our own things. So yeah, I feel like even if I'm buying all of the pieces online, I'm still putting the craft and the attention into making the candles, choosing what goes into them and making them. So it's still being imbued with my own little touch of magic along the way. And so moving right along from that, the next thing on my list that I ordered was this huge granite mortar and pestle set. So it came with like a little wooden spoon. It came with a really nice rubber mat that sits underneath for when you're like working on a kitchen counter so it won't slip around on you. But what I liked about this one is that it's actually double-sided. So it has a big bowl on one end, and then if you flip it over, it has a smaller, shallower dish. So I liked that it was sturdy, you know, definitely has some weight to it, and that it was a little bit more versatile. Because, you know, don't get me wrong, I fully plan on, you know, making guacamole and pesto and all kinds of good shit in here for cooking and kitchen witchery along with spell work, but I just wanted something to be able to, yeah, grind up spices, grind up things for spell jars. And I want to say that was also only like maybe 25-30 bucks, so not terrible. The other thing that I wanted to acquire was ways to scent the candles that I was making, or perhaps to just make my own anointing or blessing oils, or like a charging oil or meditative oils, all those fun witchy things. So I went and ordered this very nice little set of essential oils from Laguna Moon, and it comes with quite a lot in here. Actually, it's a very nice box. They're all very secure in here, as you can see. And then the bottom tray just pulls out like this. So it seems like it's, yeah, very easy to store, easy to travel with, safe and secure in here. So I'm very happy with this purchase that I made. I just wanted something that had a good variety in it. So I definitely will be using those for candles and the like. But then one thing that I do know just from the little that I have looked into working with essential oils is that if you plan to use them on your body, don't just put the pure undiluted essential oil on your skin. Some of them can be harsh and give you like a chemical burn. Especially things like, I think orange oil is the one that I've heard about, because they use it for cleaning products. So I don't think you want to just put straight undiluted orange oil, essential oil, on your skin. So one thing that is important to have for those is some type of carrier oil. And I've seen people use coconut oil, almond oil. There's a variety of different things that you can use. I just looked around online and found this one, which is called Ancient Greek Remedy Oil. This one is just a small bottle. It says it's for face, skin, hair, and nails. But what I liked about it is it seems to be a blend of different types of oils that I had seen people using as carrier oils. So instead of having to like make up my mind and decide on one to use, I got this because, here we go, yes, it has cold pressed extra virgin olive oil, sweet almond oil, grapeseed oil, and lavender oil, and vitamin E. So it seemed to just be full of all kinds of good stuff for your skin, on top of being able to be used as a carrier oil for the essential oils, because one thing I think I would like to do is make some type of energizing or meditation oil to anoint myself with when I go to sit down at the altars and meditate, especially with Freya. I'd like to have one specifically for her. So just to kind of, get myself into that frame of mind, because it's hard for me still to have the attention span to sit and just get into a habit of meditating. So I'm hoping that if I involve a little bit more sense of purpose and ritual in it, by just applying, using different aromatherapies, different oils, to, just get myself in that right frame of mind. I'm hoping that will help me focus more when I'm sitting down to do those types of things. And I will let you know how it goes. I'm very new to witchcraft and actually practicing paganism, so mostly I'm just a member of Team Wing It and make it up as I go along. After that, the only other things I really have to share are some books that I ordered, so I'll just show you those really quick, and I'm sure you will see some of them in future book review videos. Got this one, which is the Celtic Shamans pack, and it came with a lovely little deck of oracle cards, as well as a guidebook. And the thing that attracted me to this is that not only am I very drawn to exploring the traditions and spiritualities of Druidry, as well as Norse paganism. I kind of call myself a Norse Druidic neo-pagan, which is a mouthful, but this book says it's for guided journeys to the other world. Many parts of the other world, or concepts of the other world, seem very similar to the 9 realms of Norse mythology. So for that and a myriad number of other reasons, I had to pick this oracle deck up, and I very much look forward to reading the book for that, in the hopes of using it for divination and possibly astral travel, exploring different realms, and meeting the beings that inhabit thereof. Celtic and Irish mythology and Druidic tradition are definitely something that I have always been interested in and been studying for many years before deciding to become a pagan. So that was definitely relevant to my interests. The other one that I picked up recently is Llewellyn's Magical Almanac for 2021. So it's kind of like a witchy farmer's almanac, including, so there, it kind of breaks it out by sections: earth magic, fire, water, air magic, and just, I haven't really gotten a chance to even skim over this one yet, but someone who's just interested in exploring different ways of incorporating pagan practices throughout the year, this was definitely something I thought would be very useful and helpful for developing my own practice as a solitary pagan. Look for reviews of those coming up in the next couple months here whenever I get around to them. My reading list grows every day. So the next one I picked up, being someone who wants to get into druidry and study more plant lore and learn more about identifying and using plants, just for everyday knowledge as well as witchcraft reasons, I picked up this Handbook of Native American Herbs. Being a resident of the U.S., specifically learning North American plant life and herbs seems to be the best way to go, and what better way to learn about those native plants to our country than from its native peoples. So I definitely felt like that would be a handy dandy little guidebook, and I liked that it's a little bit smaller and more compact so that you could take it with you if you wanted to. Breaks out different plants alphabetically, including some illustrations and what all of the different parts of the plant can be used for and how to use them. And the other one to close this little video out is a paperback copy of Jackson Crawford's Havamal. I do have his Poetic Edda as an ebook for ease of traveling with, but specifically the Havamal is kind of like our guidebook as Norse pagans. It's not a doctrine. It's not the 10 Commandments. No one's gonna come down from the sky and smite you for not following the rules, because they're not rules, they're guidelines. And really, I keep saying that the Havamal needs to just be renamed to Common Fucking Sense, because if you ask me, that's really all it is. But I really just wanted a handy dandy little paper copy that I could carry with me and whip out when I needed to without having to open the ebook, find the section of the Havamal in the ebook, and I just have a little copy of the Havamal right here. I have another copy called like just the Pocket Havamal that's even smaller, but the language is a little bit more florid and poetic, whereas I do appreciate Crawford's just more literal and down-to-earth translation. It just makes it a little bit easier to digest for the layperson. So that's really all I have to show you today. Just mostly a lot of witchcrafting, artsy-craftsy things that I have picked up. The kind of thing that normally I would just go down to the arts and crafts store and buy, but I didn't want to go into a big store and be around people, so I ordered things online instead. But when and where I can, I do like to support local artists and local businesses, and I recommend that you do the same where you're able. But yeah, use what you have, and don't feel like you're not good enough or doing it wrong because you bought witchcraft supplies on Amazon. We all do it, okay? We're pagans trying to live in the modern world, and that includes getting to use some of the perks sometimes, okay? I hope that you enjoyed this and had fun watching it, because like I said, I really like to watch these types of videos, so until next time, enjoy!